Okay, so who hasn't looked up at the stars and thought, are we really alone?
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. It would be
it's a pretty fundamental question.
bigger than Independence Day, bigger than Arrival,
It really is.
even bigger than E.T. phoning home.
And it seems like more people than ever believe we're not alone.
Yeah, and that's what we're diving into today.
That's right.
We've got this article, Some People Just Want to Believe, by Rob Palmer. He's a skeptic, and he's trying to get to the bottom of why people believe in UFOs.
Well, it's hard not to think about UFOs when you consider how the whole craze started.
Oh, yeah, back in 47.
1947, exactly. Kenneth Arnold and those flying saucers.
Yeah, but back then, everyone thought it was just some airplanes they didn't recognize, right?
Well, that was the prevailing thought, yeah.
And now look at us. We've got polls showing a huge chunk of people believe in aliens.
Polls, congressional hearings, the works.
Oh, and the language has changed, too. It went from flying saucers to UFOs to UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Rebranding, but same
Yeah.
idea.
Exactly. People are still thinking aliens. I mean, it would be pretty cool, though, right? To think that there are these super advanced beings out there.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, maybe they've got all the answers to our problems here.
Right? Or maybe they just want to say hi.
Yeah, or they just think we're really interesting.
It's a very human-centric view of things, though.
Yeah, well, we are human.
Yeah.
Besides, it makes for great entertainment. Hollywood has been cashing in on aliens for years.
They sure have. But I think you're hitting on something there, this need for something bigger than ourselves, something we don't understand that's a powerful motivator. And you know who agrees with that?
UFologists.
Exactly. They look at events and they take them as proof. Proof that aliens exist. Proof that the government is covering something up.
Like that aerial school incident in Zimbabwe?
Oh, yeah, back in '94. Featured in the 2020 film, The Phenomenon.
So many kids said they saw the UFO land and even talked to the beings.
One of the biggest UFO stories out there.
But then there's the UFO movie they don't want you to see that tries to debunk that and other stories with regular explanations.
Two sides of the same coin. And lately it's been even harder for people to know what to believe.
Because of all the stuff coming out of Congress.
Yeah, all those hearings on UAPs, all the news about the Navy videos.
Oh man, those videos. The objects were doing things that seemed impossible.
Yeah, and then you've got David Grush, the UFO whistleblower, claims the government has captured alien spacecraft and even alien bodies.
But no proof, right?
No proof. But that doesn't seem to matter to some people. He's like a hero. It really makes you think about how much a good story can influence people.
Well, and it's not just Grush. Some scientists are in on it, too.
Which is kind of surprising.
It is. You think scientists would be all about the evidence.
Yeah.
But Palmer mentions Michio Kaku. He's a theoretical physicist.
Yeah, no code.
Always on TV talking about aliens.
Well, he is a theoretical physicist.
Right. But he seems to think those Navy videos are proof of tech that's way beyond us. He even said that now the military needs to prove the objects aren't alien.
Kind of backwards, isn't it? Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Right. It's like we've got ufologists and whistleblowers and even some scientists, and they're all saying it's aliens. So is it any surprise that people believe them?
I think there's something else at play here.
Yeah, like what?
The media. They're the ones putting this stuff out there, often without even questioning it.
Yeah, that's true. You can't go anywhere without seeing a UFO story. News, social media, documentaries. And don't forget all those alien movies and TV shows.
Oh, yeah. Hollywood loves a good alien story. Remember that poster, I Want to Believe? From the X-Files. It's like it sums up the whole thing.
So we've got this perfect storm, people who want to believe, some compelling stories, and the media blasting it out there.
And now you've got a phenomenon that's way bigger than just wishful thinking.
So we've talked about sightings, ufologists, congressional hearings, even scientists. But before we go any further, we should take a look at the evidence.
I agree. What's really going on here?
Maybe we can start to see things more clearly.
Let's start with those Navy videos. Are they aliens or something else?
That's what we'll look at in part 2 of our deep dive.
Man, those Navy videos were everywhere.
Oh, yeah. All over the news. Everyone was talking about them.
Everyone thought they were proof of alien tech.
Especially that one, the Tic Tac video. The way it just moved, it seemed like it was breaking the laws of physics.
I know, it was pretty wild. But in the article, Palmer talks about this guy, Mick West.
Oh, yeah. He's the one who analyzes UFO videos, right? The skeptic.
Yeah, he's a skeptic. And in that film, the UFO movie They Don't Want You to See, he actually debunks those videos.
Really? So he's saying it wasn't aliens?
He says that those crazy movements, they can be explained by totally normal stuff.
Like what?
like the camera itself, how it works, or even just how our eyes see things, like optical illusions and stuff.
So you're saying that those objects weren't actually zipping around like that?
Well, not exactly. West shows how the camera and our brains can kind of trick us into thinking something is moving way faster or weirder than it really is.
Huh. So it's not aliens, it's just us.
Sometimes, yeah. It just goes to show you that we can't always trust what we see. We have to be careful about jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what about all the other UFO sightings? People who say they saw lights in the sky or even met aliens. There's got to be something to those stories, right?
Well, that's when things get tricky. Because with those kinds of stories, it's really hard to tell what's real and what's not, what's just a mistake and what's maybe a hoax.
Yeah, because people could just be making things up.
Some people do, but lots of times people really believe what they're saying. But our memories, they're not perfect.
Right. People forget stuff all the time.
And sometimes we remember things differently than how they actually happened, especially if we're excited or scared. Strong emotions can change how we remember things.
So like if someone sees something weird in the sky, maybe their brain just fills in the blanks and makes them think it's a spaceship.
Exactly. It's like they want to believe, so they start to see what they want to see, even if it's just a weather balloon or something.
So how do we figure out what's real then, if we can't even trust what people say they saw?
Well, we have to be critical. We have to ask questions like, did anyone else see it? Is there any proof, like pictures or videos? Does what they saw make sense, scientifically?
So basically we got to be detectives.
Kind of, yeah. We got to look at all the clues and see if they add up. And sometimes the simplest explanation is the best one.
Yeah, like maybe it really was just a weather balloon or a drone. Not everything has to be aliens, right?
Right. The world is full of weird stuff that's not alien. But that doesn't mean we should stop looking for aliens either.
Yeah, there's still a chance they're out there, right? But we got to be smart about it.
Exactly. So going back to those people who want to believe, why are they so convinced? What is it about aliens that makes them so appealing?
Well, isn't it kind of nice to think we're not alone in the universe? I mean, it makes you feel less, I don't know, insignificant.
Yeah, like we're part of something bigger.
Exactly. And maybe there's some hope there too. Like if they made it, maybe we can too, solve our problems, get along with each other.
I think that's a big part of it. But it's important to remember that just because we want something to be true doesn't mean it is.
Right. We can't let our hopes get in the way of the facts.
And that's where critical thinking comes in.
Yeah.
We need to be able to look at things objectively, question what we see and hear, not just accept things blindly.
So be more like scientists.
In a way, yeah. Scientists, they're all about testing things, gathering evidence. They don't just take someone's word for it. They want proof.
And they're okay with not knowing all the answers right away.
Exactly. They're always looking for more information, more data. And sometimes the answer is, we don't know yet. But that's okay.
Huh. I guess I never thought of it that way. Sometimes I wish I could just believe, without having to question everything.
Yeah, I get that. It can be tiring to be skeptical all the time, but I think it's worth it. Because when we do find the truth, we know it's real.
So what you're saying is it's better to have a healthy dose of doubt than to just blindly accept what we're told.
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance between being open to new ideas, but also being critical and thinking for ourselves.
Okay, that makes sense. So even if aliens never show up on our doorstep, it's still worth thinking about this stuff, asking questions.
Oh, definitely. It's about exploring the big questions, like where did we come from? Are we alone? What else is out there? Those are questions that have been driving humanity for centuries.
Yeah, and even if we never find all the answers, just thinking about these things can make us feel more connected to something bigger than ourselves.
It can help us appreciate the universe in a whole new way. The vastness, the mystery, all the possibilities.
Well said. So to our listeners out there, keep looking up at the stars, keep asking questions, and remember, the truth is out there, somewhere.
But don't forget to bring your critical thinking skills along for the ride, because the journey to the truth is just as important as the destination.